Greetings, everyone. This is OMG Live with the Quarantine. I'm Richard Young in Maracas Valley, St. Joseph, welcoming you to our daily hangout together. Come in all, bring a friend, and join us. This is OMG time.
Richard Ragoobarsingh here, and thank you for joining us today. Remember, we are on Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. right here at OMGTT on Facebook. We appreciate each and every one of you, and thanks so much for being here. All right, ladies, introduce yourselves.
Hi, people. I am
Vaughnette
and Ragoobarsingh.
Vaughnette and Library.
Hi, I'm Cecilia in Pity Valley. My internet's sticking like Church's chicken, but I'm here still.
And to the islands of the Caribbean and all those around the world, thanks so much for joining us today. OMG Live, the quarantine edition, is our way of coming together to laugh, to share, and build the community at this special time.
Yep, and in today's show, we have some vintage calypsos. Yeah, vintage calypso tunes to jog your memory in Let's Play That Game. And of course, if you get it right, you get to ask one of our panelists. You're seeing them right there. One of them, you'll get to want to ask any one of us a question. We're also featuring Patrice Roberts singing a very nationalistic tune from 2019, which you may not have seen.
And see some hilarious videos from TikTok, one of my favorite sections too. Plus, we have a trailer from a new comedy starring Selena Gomez coming to your screens, and of course, lots of enlightening conversations to get you thinking. So please stay with us. This is the Quarantine Edition, OMG Live.
Yes, and special shout out, of course, to Stephen Doobal in our master control. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
Of course, he is that voice you may hear in the background, but you do not see him.
No.
He's there. This is also a great time to ask all of those who are viewing us to share the live feed on your timeline. Now. Share it now. You are watching it.
Now.
Call your neighbor.
Now.
Call your neighbor and friends.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
Yeah,
So,
spread
guys,
the word.
I'm not
Spread
sure
the word
if
to
people on
family
the
and
live
friends.
knew, but Richard, and to the guys on the panel and to the guys who are listening, today is an extremely special day. Today is International Jazz Day, in case you didn't know. And International Jazz Day was declared by UNESCO in the year 2011. And it's basically a day kind of given to commemorate jazz and jazz musicians and their contribution to uniting people in the world all over. Because, of course, we know music unites, so jazz unites. So, of course, we're in the middle of this pandemic. Normally, we have jazz concerts all over the place. But because we're limited in what we could do, we have to settle for an International Jazz Day online virtual concert. And that concert starts right after OMG's finish at 3 o'clock and is hosted by the wonderful Herbie Hancock. So if you're interested, check out the link. Check out the link on OMGTT. You'll see the link for the International Jazz Day concert and soak in some jazz on this April 30th International Jazz Day. All you find out look kind of dress up. What do you think I dress up so far?
Oh,
Oh, you're just into jazz.
I was wondering, Vaughnette.
And in honor of this International Jazz Day and our own premier jazz songstress,
I wonder who's that?
and fellow host of OMG Live, we'd also like to honor her with a piece of her own performance on San Fernando Hill in Trinidad, recorded way back in 2017. Here now is Vaughnette Bigford, doing a song originally released in 1977 by Bob Marley and the Wailers and redone by Lauryn Hill in 1999, called Turn Your Lights Down Low.
Hey, Papa, you.
Put us in a mood.
Turn your lights down low and open your window curtain. Oh, let your love come shining into our lives again. Oh, it's been a long time. I got this message for you, boy. But it seems I was never on time. Still, I wanna get through to you, boy. On time, on time. I wanna give you some love. I wanna give you some good, good love. I wanna give you some good, good love. Turn your lights down low. Never ever try to resist, oh no. Oh, let your love come shining into our lives again. Oh, I love you.
We need the whole concept.
I love you.
You look like you turned the lights up high. Tanya looks like you turned the lights up high.
My lights up high there.
Well done.
Woo! Absolutely. You feel like you want to watch
And make
more.
them say,
You know?
Yeah, I missed the
Have a
stage.
good
I
band
missed the stage. I missed the
Ming.
stage.
I love
All right, so
Ming.
Yeah. Ming is a
some
special
great job,
guest.
Vaughnette.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
remember,
boy.
of course, the link to International Jazz Day concert is on OMG TT's timeline, and you can tune in after our show. It starts at 3 p.m. So, moving on. During yesterday's show, we had some VIPs, some very important points of view from our Facebook viewers.
And we have Vanda Neal. Vanda Neal is from Antigua and Barbuda. And she says, I want to say it is a pleasure to be a part of this program. I want to shout out Penelope Spencer. As a young girl, I admired all of you when you hung out at Shelford Trotman's house. When are we going to get more Caribbean guests? That's Vanda.
Lovely.
Don't know.
Sal,
Huh?
you next.
I don't know. Girl, my screen is frozen. I am seeing just OMG live. So you will have to read
Okay,
it.
well,
Sorry.
Raphael Bernardine lives in Brooklyn, New York. He says,
Yeah.
now that people can see things that we thought we could not live without, we can actually live without. Like movies, going out to dinner. What are we going to do moving forward? What are the arts going to do to bring people back?
Wow.
Thanks, Raphael. We've been asking ourselves the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And Stacey DeGale from Point Fortin says, and we are
Oh, they
too
can come
critical,
back.
especially in an unprecedented situation. We are being acknowledged via international standards and we have done well. We must continue to follow the advice of the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right,
Yep.
great. So let's see what our fans are saying on social media, Vaughnette and Richard.
Rich?
Well, we have Ambassador Penelope Beckles in New York. She's online with us. She said to say hello to Hello, Ambassador Beckles.
Thanks for
Hello.
joining.
We have Colleen Williams, we have Raphael Bernardine, Patricia Batiste and her daughter Asia Minor. We have John Michael Thomas, Marvin Goodrich, Heidi Hackshaw.
Marvin.
Cambridge Delta says he loves the color. He loves our colors. He thinks our colors are fabulous today. We have Paigey Page, Heather Spencer, Mary Millett, Stanton Cooley, Sabrina Celestine, Karen Niles, Kieran Severan, and Christine Johnson, just to name a few. And Michael Sherry just joined us. So we have a lot of people
Hi,
tuning in. Thanks.
lots of friends
Michael.
on today.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Christine. Hi, Penelope Beckles.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Good. So before we move any further with our show, we have today's OMG live COVID-19 update.
First, let's take a look at the latest World Health Organization's figures.
Today, the worldwide COVID-19 infections is still climbing. It is 3,249,792 infected persons and counting. The death toll, 229,442 souls in the world who have died because of COVID-19. The recovery has gone from over 985,000 on yesterday's count to now crossing the million mark at 1,017,071. The United States has recorded 61,849 deaths. Really a lot of people.
And in Trinidad and Tobago, we are holding at 116 positive COVID-19 cases. 8 Trinbagonians have regrettably lost their lives to COVID-19, and our discharge number has now gone up to 72%. So that's great news. Of course, if you want to know a bit of the regional figures, Jamaica is at 396 and Barbados is at 80 with 7 deaths. Just touching on some of the Caribbean figures.
Some very disturbing news coming out of Utica Avenue in Brooklyn this morning. Let's just take a look at that.
A New York funeral home was found to be storing dead bodies in unrefrigerated trucks on Wednesday, according to a Reuters eyewitness and local news reports. New York media say the bodies were found after neighbors reported an odor coming from the trucks. ABC News reports about 100 bodies were stored in U-Haul vehicles. They also say the owner of Andrew T. Cleckley Funeral Services said the freezer that normally stores bodies had stopped working. The city of New York later delivered a freezer truck to the funeral home. ABC did not identify the owner, and no one at the funeral home was immediately available for comment. It's also not clear how long the bodies have been stored in the U-Hauls, or whether any were victims of COVID-19. The New York Police Department declined to comment, and the Department of Health could not immediately be reached for comment. New York City has been at the epicenter of the global pandemic, and April saw an uptick in people being buried in mass graves. The city's death toll from COVID-19 stood at more than 18,000 people Wednesday, and local funeral homes say they've been overwhelmed. Some say they're facing weeks-long backlogs to bury or cremate the dead.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And we just have a little additional. We have this eyewitness report from a woman on Utica Avenue sent in to us by Kirk Cambridge Delpeche from Brooklyn, New York.
This is sad. This is really, really sad. This funeral home has been busted for illegally storing the bodies of COVID-19 victims. So not only have the people lost their loved ones, but now they are mishandling the bodies, guys. This is serious. I'm leaving because I have an order to go do, and I can't play right now. But it's serious. If any of y'all have family members that would be handled by that funeral home on Utica and Avenue Utica between L and M, y'all need to get over here, get y'all money back, get a refund. They left the bodies in trucks, and the bodies started leaking, causing a odor in which this plumbing company right here made a report, and that's why all these cops is here. I heard, I didn't even go down there because I don't want to get involved with that stinking smell that's down there. But you guys, if y'all got family over here, Utica between L and M.
My God.
Crazy.
Wow.
That is absolutely crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Wow.
I am speechless about that.
Yeah,
Something
boy.
like that could happen.
Wow.
What about the families? Nobody went to see what was going on. I wonder who went to the funeral home to ask a question about the burial or the arrangement. Were they COVID bodies? That's the kind of things that you want to ask.
They-
and if they
Yeah.
Well, they
Yes, they
related,
were.
this thing is
They were
they all
COVID-19
They all
related.
Yeah.
oh my
Yes.
God! Even
Wow. That is crazy.
And
That
you
is
seen this?
totally crazy.
Just down the road
And
from
of
his
course,
house.
from Kirk's house,
Yes,
yes.
he said it was, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
okay.
Anyway, let's. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
I
let's see what
can't, yeah.
what people on social media are saying.
Like yeah, we have Kirk. Kirk is saying this is 3 freezer trucks of bodies. One truck had 60 bodies.
Whoa.
Wow. Hi, Lisa
Wow.
Wickham. Thanks for joining us. Stacey DeGale says
Terrible.
this is so sad. Hollis Dan Franklin. Raphael Bernadine says there are many homeless living on the trains. Kathleen Brewster says she's logging in for the first time and she loves this show. It's a welcome distraction. Ooh. Only like I kind of confused with that thing. I just see the yes, like I get confused.
I'm telling
Richard,
you.
better read yes.
I don't know
Yes.
what to say about that.
We have some
I
others
don't know.
who joined them.
Ooh.
I just want to say a shout out to some of them. Delano J. Manganu, great dancer. He's danced in a few of my shows. Navid Lancaster, Anya Henry Rupchan, and Kathleen Brewster. Some new people joining our show today. Nice for you being here. We'll be a little shocked by that news that we just got from Utica Avenue. So,
And I am always shocked by those mass graves, but y'all. Could you imagine you live your whole life, you know, you do your work, you serve your country, you serve your family, and then you end up in a grave with a whole set of bodies? I think that is so sad when I see that kind of burial.
yeah.
But if I had to go to mass grave, y'all
Yes,
put
that
a
is.
mass costume, please. What is that old mass costume?
But how many
It'll be a
people?
proper mass.
You know what? And because it's Brooklyn, you're wondering how many of those people are Caribbean nationals or of Caribbean
course.
stock, because so many people of Caribbean stock live in Brooklyn. So you mean there are people that they are probably relatives to people across the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that can't even travel or can't even go anywhere to see their loved ones. They're stuck all over the world when something like this is totally crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Let's go on.
Yeah.
Let's go on. Let's move.
Okay,
Let's
we'll lightly move a little bit. Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
yes.
lightly move a little bit and move right along. Move right along to meanwhile at TikTok.
Okay, so it seems like parents are starting to get really creative and putting together some major fun times with their kids. So they decided to strap this baby onto a harness and lower her down to get her snack. This is a Mission Impossible stunt. Starring Baby, and we assume Daddy cooked this one up. Here is Crystal Francis 619 on TikTok. Run that clip, let's see it, Stephen. That's cute.
Of course,
cute.
and they edited the music and everything. That's so cool.
I love the music.
TikTok is doing such great work.
I know, it's crazy. Wow.
Our
They're
second tip.
encouraging so many
What is
people
a
to be
nice-
creative.
Yeah. We wouldn't be put in a position like this. We are. What does a nice, hot, juicy boiled corn and Michael Jackson have in common? Well, this gentleman is going to demonstrate. Here is Moonwalker 868. I can't even wait to see what this is. Well, now I know you're getting sound.
Okay.
Now you're getting
Okay.
Wild card.
Oh, God.
That was creative. That was the front slam. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. All right. So you know what? If somebody shout out, how you feeling? Most people will answer, fat.
Yeah.
These days, yes.
What?
Well, here we have. Well, here we have
Not Daddy.
soca singer. We have soca sweetheart singer Nadia Batson trying to not be getting fat during this quarantine period. It's sent in to us by Natasha Thomas, and posted by Casca7 on TikTok. Take a look.
Fridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you talking? From where?
No. You don't study from where? You don't study from where? What I need you to study is that this is the 173rd time that you open my door for the day. I know you don't want nothing. Assure. You don't want nothing, girl. You're bored. You hungry? You not hungry? Take a jog around the house. Do something. Remember you sing fatter? Nice. Watch me.
Okay. Before I go, I just want to...
Listen, you just close my door.
Okay.
I love her accent.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I love the part.
That's good.
Yes, y'all have to tune in.
Pretty good.
Y'all have to tune in to the Reef on Sunday nights. I know I'm putting a plug, but she has a great part in the Reef. Oops, I think she got killed off last week. But anyway, she was really good in the Reef. So I was admiring her acting skills just last weekend. It's
Which
on
part?
TTT every Sunday night. On TTT every
okay.
Sunday night, the Reef. Yeah, she was. She had a feature part.
A mother is what?
The mother.
What do you say?
Her mother's an actor. She was the lead in Wine of Astonishment. Earl Lovelace's Wine of Astonishment. We went on tour together. So she has it in her genes. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, great.
That explains it.
That's how
was so
TikTok
funny.
people are passing the time. Let's jump right into what's trending today.
Before we get into what's trending today topics, I wanted to remind our viewers, our online audience actually, you too can send us your thoughts. Just email your video clips or your voice notes to info@omgtt.com with your name and contact information.
Great.
Sanitine.
Right. What are we talking about? People?
Yeah,
What are we
what's
gonna talk about?
trending?
What's
Cecilia?
trending?
Y'all heard that Rishi
Penny,
Kapoor
what you
died.
say?
Yeah.
Pardon,
yeah.
Penny?
Rishi Kapoor, the Indian actor, the Bollywood actor, he died today. And I was just in awe of the amount of people that
And
dying during this crisis that are not COVID related. And still that.
And Irfan Khan died yesterday.
Yes,
Another
he did.
Bollywood star died yesterday. Irfan Khan. I think he was in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No, not Who Wants to Be a Slumdog Millionaire. What am I saying? Yeah. He died as well this week, 2 days ago or so.
Yeah.
2 days
Crazy.
ago. And Rishi Kapoor died. And it's amazing the amount of talent we have dying during this COVID crisis.
Yeah.
And
And of course, and what is horrible about dying during this time, of course, is the fact that only 5 people can be present. So you can't have large gatherings, and there's so many people that sometimes wants to honor, the person who has passed. I have a friend whose wife, mother died, and they had 13 children. All of them are close to the mother, and the mother died, and not everyone can go to the funeral. It's a crazy, crazy time in terms of telling people goodbye, that kind of closure. So it's even more pain upon the pain that you're already feeling by losing a
With the
loved
loss.
one. You're now going to, have more pain stacked on top of that because not everybody can go. And a virtual funeral doesn't cover the fact of being physically present. It doesn't.
Of course.
That's exactly how I felt the other day with Tony. I was telling Penny that my instinct when I heard that Tony passed was to rush down to the Little Carib Theatre or to rush down to Black Box and to find you all and to find everybody in the theatre. We'd all come together. I mean, we've had to deal with quite a few deaths in the past year. Passing of our great friends, Raymond Shukong, Chris Smith, Gregory Singh. So I just needed that gathering. It was so lonely. It was horrible. I don't know. It's a horrible feeling.
And we have a tendency of thinking, it's COVID the person died from, they're kind of ignoring. Remember what you're saying, Penny, that people are not acknowledging even the other deaths and what other deaths that are coming around, because everybody's thinking, is COVID you're dead from? Kind of question seems to be coming up.
If anybody dies during this time, that must be one thing. People are so tunnel vision when it comes to that kind of thinking. But what my friend Rhea, her family had what her family had done is, like, for the viewing of the body, they had like some family members did that part. And then when they went into the church, another 5 went in, to do that part. So people finding clever ways that they could make it happen to get in as many people as possible. I mean, but not look at what happened in New York with the Jews and that funeral, and when they had to bring in, when the rabbi died, and over 2,500 people came to his funeral. And they had to call in police to disperse the crowd. That was madness.
They've been having that problem. They've been having that problem with the Jews. They're not listening at all. They're really, really not listening to that. This need to social distance. They're ignoring it.
But there were a couple of situations in Trinidad like that, Penny, where certain people had gathered at a funeral and they were above the 5 limit, of course, and they were gathering and police arrived and people refused to disperse. And I think one of them was a little mini riot and they arrested some people and they had to go before the court and all of that. That happened. I read that yesterday in the Daily News.
Yeah.
So you have some of that going on here. Because, I mean, people, when you're saying goodbye to a loved one, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Of course. And when
that is not enough. Yeah.
Well, let's see what our fans on social media are saying, Vaughnette and Richard.
Hi, Vanda Neal. I think she just said hello to me there. Love you too. Nigel Friday. I'm just calling a few and then you can do some quotes, Vaughnette. Anna Devatai, Nigel Friday, Richard Ambrose, Lisa Hamilton, Joan Peer again in Toronto, Carol Prince Mandela, Kimo Thomas, Sean Drakes, Pamela Singh. They've joined us in a little bit there.
Hi, welcome people.
Hi.
Cassandra Pemberton is agreeing. She says, funerals are a time for families to reconnect. So it's difficult that they don't get this time to get that physical contact and just reconnection in now. Page says it's so sad right now that our loved ones are sent off with few family members in attendance. Kirk Cambridge Delpech says it's so important to live well, be honest with our feelings, tell people how you stand and own your shortcomings and live in love. Raphael Bernardine says, I used to love going to the Space Theatre every Friday night. Arlene Nicholas, she says, she's responding to somebody, sorry. Raphael says, it seems like we are now living alone and dying alone. Oh my gosh, that's deep. Yeah, we can move on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well,
He's
guess what?
living alone.
It's time for Let's Play That Game.
This is for all the lovely people who have joined us today, chatting with us and participating online. So are you ready? Today our game is called Name That. Yes, it's for you out there. Today the game is called Name That Vintage Calypso. We'll play a clip of a vintage calypso. You have to tell us who the singer is or what's the name of the song. If you get the answer right, you get to ask one question, just one, to one of us on the panel. If you didn't get it, you're going to learn something new.
Hopefully.
All right, so let's go on the first clip.
Ragoobarsingh try and not say the answers because this is his area.
Yeah,
Vintage.
Shout out the answers.
But Stephen put me and Perry in private view now. I want to show her something.
Some people in the world today don't realize that worries don't pay. Let the people in the world today don't realize that worries don't pay. Resting the worries upon your shoulder, only bringing you older and older. These wicked things that people just do, you don't realize you have worries too. Tell them.
Easy business.
Easy and let's see if anybody gets that.
No, I
Anybody
really
got
don't
it?
know that
Anybody got
one.
that?
I
Not
don't know
yet.
that one too
So you have to
good.
give it. You have to give us the name
No,
of the
let's say-
Calypsonian and then the name of the song.
Roma must know that song, man.
Yes.
Yeah, look,
We
she
should,
has
Roma, you see, Roma shouldn't be allowed to enter every time.
Roma here today?
Oh, God. I don't know. I'm sure she is. Who?
Roma got an
Let's
answer
move
already.
on.
No, that's
Yes,
not the name of the
Roma,
song,
you see?
Roma. That's not the name of the
Oh.
song. The name of the song is not
Oh,
Molly
no,
Murray.
Marie.
Ali Nicholas is close. I don't know.
What Marie say?
Marie Millett.
No, but
That's right.
Never ever
Marie
worry,
Millett,
Lord
never
Pretender.
ever worry by Pretender.
Marie Millett.
okay, well, Marie Millett gets it.
Never worry.
Yeah, Marie.
Marie, waiting on your
1961.
question.
Yeah, Marie, work on your question. Stephen, run the second clip.
Moving on.
Ivy pack up she clothes to leave because John was down and out. All alone he was left to grieve. She had an ex-man in South. She said openly, I really love you, Johnny, but you ain't have no money.
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. People must get out. They must get out.
You know that song?
That man out like Hayden.
The name of the song is
Bring
right.
song,
So
bring song.
Wayne
Miss
G.
Beckles, you should
Hayward.
know that song.
Wayne
Yeah, some people,
Hayward,
I think somebody get it.
Wayne
Yeah.
Hayward, No Money, No Love by Sparrow.
That's it.
1969.
So Wayne, think about your question for one of the panelists, and let's move on to our last and final clip. Stephen, run it.
Simplicity and melody. My tunes are happy and the music sweet. If you don't dig the melody, you will dig the beat. I make music, yeah.
Sweet music. Yeah.
That one easy too.
I don't know the name of that one though. I don't know the name of it. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's some good choices, Stephen. Some good choices, Stephen.
Yeah.
Let us try.
Yes.
1970.
Yes, but
1970.
vintage, but not cliche.
Yes.
Yeah.
No page is not
I
right.
hope our audience don't get dropped because of the copyright. So
It's
Yeah.
not right on. It's not endless. It's not. That's right on. What's the name of that song, Stephen?
we giving
That's
it
not
away?
No, that's not it.
No. Wait.
No.
Is it
Some people have the name of the song, but they have the wrong singer. No, it's not.
They have the right name, but the wrong song.
Right name, but the wrong song.
Somebody. Arlene Nicholas.
Arlene
again.
Sweet music. Yes,
sure.
Arlene Nicholas.
Sweet music.
Yeah, sweet music.
All right.
Lord, 14.
So we're waiting on questions from Marie Millett, Wayne Harewood, and Arlene Nicholas.
Any questions? So
We
let's
are
move
going
on.
to
While
the
we
young
look
people.
Wayne Harewood has a question for Miss V. I guess that's me. And he asks, would you want your son to follow your footsteps in the entertainment field? And my question would be, I would want my son to do whatever makes him happy. That's it.
Your answer would be that, yeah.
Good answer.
Quick and
Good
easy.
answer.
Quick, easy.
Good answer.
Yeah. Brilliant answer.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I tried
I
to do
agree with
what
that.
show is that? Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer. Yeah. They are
I had
so
a
annoying.
run for my
And half the time must be a real bad answer. That's
Run for my money. My grandfather
All right, so-
wanted me to sing in church on a Sunday. So I know what that is.
Okay.
right.
So while we wait on the other two questions, from our other two winners, let's move along. So let's check out what's our next segment, OMG Live on your screen.
Today's movie features a young couple who arrives in New York for a weekend where they are met with bad weather and a series of changing adventures. It is written and directed by Woody Allen. Long time I hear about Woody Allen. And here
Me
is
too.
Rainy Day in New York.
I got an interview with Roland Pollard.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And it's on campus?
It's in Manhattan.
We're always talking about going into Manhattan for a special weekend. This is gonna be absolutely fantastic.
Later, maybe we could take a carriage ride.
Yeah.
If it doesn't rain. You're by far the most interesting American director.
Since this is your first meaningful assignment, would you like a scoop?
I can't make lunch.
Why not?
He's going through this real artistic crisis. It's a scoop.
Gatsby, nice to see you. It's good to see you. What are you doing?
Just out here trying to create a modern film noir classic.
Okay, all right. Do you want to be in it?
Hey.
Should we do this? Hey, are you gonna keep your mouth closed?
I have a girlfriend, Shan. I don't think I could do this.
Scene 19, take 2.
Action.
Josh, it's starting to rain.
And cut.
See? I knew you could do it.
Hey,
and I
Josh.
won't tell your girlfriend.
Ashley, what's going on? You said you were gonna call me 30 minutes ago.
It's a $70 million movie, and Raleigh's very unhappy with it.
You call him Raleigh?
Yeah, and Ted and I, we have to find him before he has one of his crazy fits.
Who's Ted? Was that your boyfriend?
Yeah, he's a little eccentric. Raleigh? Oh my God, you're Francisco Vega.
Is that good or bad?
My roommate thinks you're the greatest thing to come along since the morning after pill.
Francisco Vega is in town with his new main squeeze on his arm.
My girlfriend dumped me for a movie star. Ooh, what are you doing here all alone?
I make dreams come true.
How do you do that?
I get 500, sweetie.
How'd you like to make 5,000? Mother, this is my girlfriend, Ashley Ann Ray.
You better grow up and get a profession. You think a girl like that wants to live hand to mouth?
Funny you should put it that way. She's apparently onto a very big story. She takes her job very seriously.
I shouldn't imbibe so copiously. I become passionate, aggressive, absurd. I just...
Hey, Ashley.
I can't talk to you right now.
What could possibly be so secretive about that?
Unless there's some funny business going on.
Unless there's some funny business going on. This is real life.
Real life is fine for people who can't do any better.
It's supposed to be one tiny little lousy hour interview. Instead, we lost the whole weekend.
I'm onto a real story here.
Take off your raincoat.
I can't. I have no clothes underneath.
Is that Timothy Chalamet there? Is that Timothy Chalamet there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
I love to see Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I like Selena Gomez
I
myself.
love Selena Gomez. I love her as an actress too. I think her sense of comic timing is really good. But she doesn't do that many comedies, at least. I don't think so.
No.
She's done some.
Is she anything but an actress?
No,
She's
a
a
music
singer.
star.
She sings too.
Yeah. She's a
Viva
Latin
Exono.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Justin Bieber's ex.
Wow.
And she was on Disney also.
I can't.
Disney Kids.
Yeah. She was in
Good
Wizards of
question.
Waverly Place. Yeah. I remember
Right.
seeing
So
her.
Marie-
That's the first time I saw her.
Marie-
Yeah.
Marie Millet's question
Selena
was,
Gomez. Yeah, I love her.
she wanted to find out about the white outfit that I was wearing in the video and who that it was done by. So my stage gear is normally done by Zara Niesman, Marie. Most of my stage gear, 98% of my stage gear is done by Zara Niesman of Point Fortin. And then there's a question from Arlene Nicholas.
Umzangad and Nigel Eastman, great you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Question from Arlene Nicholas to Richard Young, and she asked to Richard have you ever been in a local play, and would you do one, and with whom?
Well, if I have to do it, the people and them right here, so I'm waiting on them to ask me. And secondly, when I was with Dwight Arthur, working with Dwight Arthur at Trinity College, I used to do a lot of leads actually. Because we formed the drama group at Trinity College back then. We wouldn't go into the years that was, but I was a toddler and I did a lot of mature parts for my age. I was actually told by Errol Hill that I had a natural flair for the stage. I felt like a thespian.
A flair.
But nothing
Yes.
has happened since.
He's very correct.
He's just auditioned.
It's very correct.
Yes, you
Yeah.
definitely have a flair for this.
Cecilia and Richard. Richard, Penelope, and Cecilia are waiting. All right.
We'll keep you in mind, Richard. We'll keep you in mind for the next one.
My characters have to be under 30. Under 30.
Don't worry,
The age,
Richard.
under
They have
30.
all of us waiting.
Under 30. Don't give me the old pussy pattern.
All right, so guys, that leads us into our next segment. So I was thinking.
Well, Penny, what are you thinking, girl? Because
Well,
there's so
I'm
much
thinking
going on
what-
everywhere.
Yes, two things I was thinking about is just that Miami had no murders for 7 weeks. I heard this on the news like a week ago, and I was amazed. They had no murders for 7 weeks. I don't understand what's going on in Trinidad with the crime, but between the crime and the COVID, I am staying inside my house because these fellas out here, like, they're going crazy. Gary, I don't know, Gary need more hands to curb this. And then there's another thing I was thinking. I heard that this couple named their twin babies, COVID and Corona, to commemorate. Yeah. Would you believe it? I could not believe it. That's what I'm thinking, and I want to get it out of my head.
Corona. Very commemorative.
Who next?
Yeah.
But Cecilia, what were you thinking?
Me, Cecilia. Okay, as I say, you have to say my name clearly because my screen is sticking. My turn, right? Oh, Lordy, y'all. I was thinking along the lines of what we were talking about earlier about funerals and people dying and families coming together, because deaths and births are really times where people come together, where you see people you haven't seen for years. And even though we're not together, my phone has not stopped ringing. My phone has not stopped beeping. People have called me from all over the world. My phone is not working. It's not ringing. You have to WhatsApp call me. But people have called my mother. They called Stanton. They called my daughter to try and get me. And I have spoken to so many people, had so many wonderful memories about Tony with people like Christopher Pinero, y'all. He called me from Toronto last night. Tony Andrews, who said he's going to log on. He's the driver who drives Tony, who drove me all over the place. I never had his number. So it still is a time where we can reach out and touch people, and we can do it virtually and send that energy. I really believe it. I feel the love.
I can't remember the last time I've seen Christopher Pinero. That's incredible. I was thinking about him the other day, you know, and I'm saying, I'm wondering, where's Christopher now, boy? Vaughnette, what are you thinking?
For me, I woke up this morning very thankful for the musicians that would have come before me, who would have laid the foundation. It's International Jazz Day, but I woke up thinking about all these local musicians who have done so much. Clive and Carlton Zander, Ron Reed, Ming, Theron Shaw, Chantal Estelle, who had been doing her thing as the lone female piano player, Mavis John, Patty Rogers, who passed, and all of these musicians who lived and worked in this space that I sometimes call musical Siberia, but they continued to do their thing and lay the foundation so that people like me could actually have somebody to look up to. Ralph Davies, who's in his 90s. And I just thought of all of them, and I was really thankful for the foundation laid by all these musicians, because it's not easy to be an artist in Trinidad and Tobago. And the fact that they stayed their course and left and is still leaving a legacy, I'm just really thankful to them. And I wanted to publicly thank all of them today for all that they've done and the foundation that they've laid.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Important, very important.
Very good. For some fabulous names there.
Yeah.
What I have been thinking about is, well, since last I saw you all, I haven't slept. And because I had to submit a paper, which I'm proud of, and taking the chance to say thanks for being given the opportunity. I had presented at CariFesta my feeling on what the Caribbean aesthetic is at a symposium, and all the speakers, we were chosen to be published. It was led by Dr. Susan Burke, and that makes me really feel special that it is going to be honored by being published. So today is the deadline, and I was going over things all night since last you spoke to me, and I submitted just a while ago. So that's what my head was really thinking about, which celebrates all of the performing arts and the way that we identity brand ourselves in this part of the world. And so it's now going to be offered as a treatment. Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, congrats,
published writer.
And Penny's published too, huh?
Yeah, she is. And so are you. I was going to say another published writer.
Another published writer. Yeah, so I was thinking, you know, I have been pondering on so many things that frustrate me in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of our ease of doing things as citizens in this country. And I want to give an example, and then I'll go to what my broader point is. For example, the issue of applying for salary grants and stuff, which I talked about before, and I felt the process was too bureaucratic. It was going to take too long. I think the first set of people who need us, people need us money about 3 weeks ago. The first set of people got money, I think yesterday, 1,000 people. You have about, 40 or 50,000 more to go. And I was wondering what is happening in other parts of the world. I know other places are battling with how to do it. So I said, let me try Canada, because you have so many Trinidadians who live in Canada. So I called my cousin in Canada and I said, how do you all, what sort of relief grants are taking place? And she told me once you were out of work or you were terminated or whatever, you had reduced income, you go onto an app, you enter your information and you answer 3 simple questions. And you press submit, and within 3 days, the money's in your account. And it got me thinking that I am hoping that a positive out of COVID-19 is that Trinidad and Tobago takes stock of how we give services to citizens and become completely innovative and overturn the entire system so that things are easily accessible for anybody who wants it. And I'll give you an example. For example, renewing your driver's permit. Why can't we do it via our phone? That you log in to licensing, you pay your $500, whatever it is, to renew the license. Your phone takes a picture of you as you're staring at it, and bam, the license comes up on your phone, and the TTPS can accept that your license is on your phone instead of having to walk around with your wallet, which some people forget sometimes. And there it is on your phone, done. You don't have to go nowhere. You don't have to go and wait for any piece of plastic to come out. There it is on your phone. Why couldn't we go to some things like that? And that's just one example, the revolution of how services are given, not only by government, but by the private sector in Trinidad. And I'm hoping that's a positive that's going to come out of COVID-19. That's what I've been thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, the virtual court is wonderful, so I'm hoping that that continues. But things like passport and licensing, and I mean, we really have to move a little forward, man, with this. With receiving those documents. It's amazing. I don't know where you have to sleep, but sometimes I get things done in Trinidad.
Nobody,
yes,
Penny. Nobody, Penny. Nobody, Penny. Nobody. Nobody. You're scaring me, Penny.
I don't know,
but those virtual courts are continuing post-COVID, Penny, because there are a lot of practice directions that have come out from the court. For attorneys and how they have to set up their various virtual court spaces wherever they are, and what is required by the Supreme Court with regard to those hearings. So that's going on after COVID. So that's a positive.
A friend of mine went on to see it in action, and she said she had to wait about 10-15 minutes. She had to submit her name, and she had to wait about 10-15 minutes. And she was inside and she was viewing the court case. Fabulous.
Wow. Well, I don't like the virtual schools. Virtual schooling, we could not continue that. As my sister says, who's a teacher, that, some of the children she's lost. She can't, get them. So I hope we go back to schools. That's one thing.
Yeah. Definitely. You and all the parents.
Any further questions there, Vaughnette? Any further questions, Vaughnette?
No, that's
well,
it.
we have talking on social media.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Cassandra Pemberton just logged on. Joan Pierce says, congrats, Richard. It's so deserving. Chemo Summer says, oh my God, Richard, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Arlene Nicholas says, we are backward in a lot of things. Hope we move forward to betterment in a timely fashion. Verna St. Rose says, Richard Ragoobarsingh, lower your expectations. I guess she don't want you to be too disappointed with Ragu. Congratulations to Richard. Yeah. Anybody else you have there, Young?
I saw like Rubaderi Victor joined us today, so I want to say glad that he's on. And a few people who reached out and said congrats and thankful. Karen Bernard, Heather Spencer, Raphael Bernardine, Kirk Cambridge Delpesh, Carol Prince Mandela, Pamela Sin, thank you. Yeah, and Melissa Roberts, nice of you to be here. And Sassy Beach and all in Toronto. Yeah.
And there are a few people.
Hi, Heidi Hackshaw, and continue to mark our sets. She is so in awe of all the sets and what we wear in every day. Thank you. Love you, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
Saying thank you to Stephen Doobal for the idea for this show and hoping that the show continues after the quarantine is lifted. Well, nice.
Yeah, who's saying that?
A couple of people have been saying that on the as comments here. They like the format.
I would love to see our set and you all are walking in, and I'm just excited that if we could do this live. You know, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen all over the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're waiting on COVID.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
Can't
That's
wait.
it, folks.
So excited.
Thanks to those who watched and took part, please. We want our viewers to join us. Send us your comments, your voice notes, or a video clip of your thoughts and perspectives. Email it to info@omgtt.com so we can share it on the OMG Live, the quarantine edition. Remember, you can watch the International Jazz Day virtual concert live from 3 p.m. today. The link is on OMGTT Facebook timeline. Also, thanks to our OMG crew of Stephen Doobal.
All right, so if your Facebook Live edition of today's show was glitchy because of irregular internet wherever you may be, you can watch a smooth recorded version on YouTube. Just go to OMG TV TT, OMG TV TT on YouTube, and because we'll be uploading it there shortly. We now leave you with music from Patsy, Miss Patsy, Miss Patrice.
Ragoo.
Huh?
We want to talk. I think we have a Tony Hall memorial. Yeah, Tony Hall thing.
Yeah. All right, Penny, go ahead.
That's going on after.
Yes.
Tony Hall will have a memorial on tomorrow morning at 5:27, the breaking of dawn, in commemoration of his life. We have performances. We have some talks, and so just tune in to that page, the National Drama Association of Tobago. Who again, Stephen?
And OMG. Right here, OMG.
Right here on OMG.
Right here. Yes, we will be carrying Tony's memorial. So join us, get up early, drink a cup of tea, and come and look at Tony Hall's life.
Tribute, yes.
All right, so great. So now we leave you with music from Patsy, Miss Patrice Roberts, doing a very naturalistic song, a tribute to Trinidad and Tobago, released in 2019, called This Is the Place. Everybody say all the goodbyes now.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, Nigel, Friday, and Franklin Jackie. Join us every weekend, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. right here on OMGTT on Facebook to see today's show and all our past shows. Please go to Vimeo or YouTube at OMGTVTT. All shows there for you to enjoy on demand. Thanks again. And as we always say on OMG, as we always say on OMG,
let's be kind.
Let's be kind to each other.
As we wake up the streets in the night, plenty vibes in the city. I know. Like when the steel pan and rhythm section play with that sweetness, you don't want to stay. A hammock under a mango tree, go take all of your stress away. So come here, we go jam, come jam in my island. We get destination, understand that this
I know